Okay, so we've finished using our watercolors, and now it's time to clean up our watercolor palette. It's really important that we take care of our watercolors. So let's talk about a couple of options. If you've mixed a color and you'd like to use it later at some point, you can let this dry on the top of your watercolor palette. Obviously, you would not want to close the lid while this is wet because it will drip down and get into your paints and it will definitely ruin them, especially your yellow. So if you want to use it again, you can leave it open to dry, and then to reactivate it, you would just add water to it and you could reuse it. Now, if I don't have any intention of using this color again, which I currently don't, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a paper towel and I am going to neatly wipe out the top of my paint palette. So we want to get as much color out of there as possible so that the next time we go to mix a color in the top of our palette, we don't accidentally mix some yellow with some blue unintentionally and end up with green, okay? So we're going to clean that out with just a very damp paper towel. It does not need to be sopping wet, and you can just gently wipe it off. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to clean up a little bit of the paint around my edges here, just keep my palette nice and neat. You are assigned one paint palette that you are responsible for. So if you ruin your paint palette, guess what? You're not going to get another one. So it's going to be really important that you take care of your paints. We do use the same sets in 6th and 7th and 8th grade. So whatever palette you get assigned in 6th grade, you're going to still be using in 8th grade, so you want to make sure that you're taking care of it, okay? So I'm just cleaning up a little bit of my paint, trying to keep my paint palette nice and neat and ready to go. I will show you that with the Crayola paint palettes, if you had a really messy paint palette lid, you can very carefully pop the top off and run it underwater. And then to put it back on, you would just snap it back into place carefully. Okay. The other thing I would tell you is that if your paints have a lot of water when you tip them and the paints are moving around, you would just gently want to, with a clean piece of paper towel, go ahead and blot up any wetness that was in there, just so your watercolors aren't rolling around and mixing into each other. And that's how we take care of our paint palette. Once our brushes are clean, we rinse them out and we would reform the bristles on our brush. So if this is the brush I was just using, after I wash it, I'm going to gently just reform the bristles so I have a nice point and lay it in my paint palette, close up the lid so that it's ready for next time. There you go.